What's up, guys? So we're gonna wrap up our vlog here in the car. We are on our way home. This is day 2 and we're finally finishing our Virginia adventure here. So we got to see 2 of our prospects that we wanted to see. Our third one we had to reschedule, and we're gonna see him in the following weeks here. But what's really interesting is our 2 different prospects were on either side of the spectrum. So what I mean by that was, our first one was a pretty large prospect. He had a bigger sales force, a large amount of install teams, and he's a much larger operation. The other gentleman we saw, he's singly by himself, but he has installer crews, and he also was looking at different things that our first prospect wasn't really asking as much. So in our first one, we were really trying to impress the sales team and the design staff. We had saw this gentleman before, but we came back when his sales and design staff were there, and our approach was a lot different as well. So when we were pitching our product and the features, we were also telling the design and sales staff how they could then relate that and then show that to their clients, so that way it's easier to sell the jobs, it's easier to sell the product, and we were trying to give them those ideas rather than just selling them on the features by itself. For our second gentleman, he was more or less interested in the compartments and the components of the cabinet and the features, and he wanted to know for his own general knowledge about the product, because he already knew how he's going to be able to then sell that to his clients. So going to elaborate a little bit more, my business partner and father Brian, what is the general way we kind of came into our first client, and how do you think we approached that differently than our second?
On the first client, we met with the owner himself previously, and he said, I really need you to come in and and present your product in front of my Salesforce, because they're the ones that are going to need to be excited and have to sell the product to their customers. So going with that in mind, we had the Salesforce in our head, thinking, questions that they may ask us, different scenarios that they may come up with that are different from like a single person asking questions for us. So we went in with a broader sense of how that company worked, to try and touch base with the Salesforce to get them excited about the product, so that they can be excited selling the product to their customer. The gentleman that we did see today, like Daniel was saying, he pretty much knew how he could present the product to his customers, but he wanted to know all the specifications and the ins and outs of the product, so that if they asked him questions, he would know how to answer them intelligently and not feel, oh, I have to get back to you on that. You're not going to know everything, but the more that you feel more comfortable with the product that you're presenting, the more confident you are of presenting that to your customer.
So our AMS Salesforce, we try and customize every single approach when we're going into clients. A lot of the times you'll see in sales, it's kind of a cookie cutter approach. There's call scripts, there's meeting scripts on how you're going to go in and what things you're exactly going to say. But like Brian was saying, we kind of analyze each situation. And so in our first case, we had to make sure that we were talking about points that they could sell to their customers, rather than just the features and overloading them with knowledge and facts about the cabinet itself, but also providing them the ammunition to give to their customers. And in the second guy, he wanted to know a little bit more about the features, so we had to tailor it back. We didn't say, well, this is how you could present it to your customer, and this is how you could make them feel that this is a better cabinet, or he already knew how he's going to do that. And so if you aren't prepared to kind of adjust your situation, you're going to not look so good kind of coming into a meeting such as the guy we saw today, because he's going to say, well, I already know how to do that. I need to know this, that, and the other thing, and be specific. Another thing that was kind of interesting to see on this Virginia trip was that both of these clients had kind of similar situations with their cabinetry, but again, we kind of had to come in with a customized approach. So on our first client, he's been using his cabinetry line for a long time. He enjoys it, but his issue was kind of that he doesn't get to see his sales rep as much, and there isn't a connection with him and the manufacturer as there used to be. So he was looking for a line and a sales rep force that he could kind of connect with again, kind of get his workforce fired up with, get himself kind of fired up with again. Even though he's doing a lot of projects and he's doing a lot of jobs, he kind of just misses that long-term personal connection. While with our other guy, he loves the product. Didn't mention anything too much about his sales rep, but what he was looking for was something a little bit different, but he also wanted to feel out what else was out there. And so he kind of found our product unique, and he also found a lot of things that he loved over the one that he already currently had, and he also saw it as an asset. So it's going to kind of come back to now what it always does is coming back to pricing. So on our two guys that we saw today, they're going to be pricing out some jobs, seeing how it kind of relates to what they already have. They did really enjoy both of us. They enjoyed the product, but they kind of want to see is it going to economically be beneficial for them. Just to give some kind of thoughts and opinion on that, I'm going to turn to Brian and talking about how does really price relate to everything, even if the customer likes you, even if they like the product.
Right. Unfortunately, the price is the name of the game today. You could have the best Salesforce and even the best product, but if the price isn't there, if the price is higher than what they currently are using, then they're going to still fall back into that. What we have to do is kind of find that price isn't everything. It's you get what you pay for. So if you have a lesser product, it's going to be less expensive. But if you go in with a nice a high-end product and the price is just slightly higher, it's a value to get that product because you get the better quality, you get the better finish, you get the better salespeople with that. So we like to sell our whole package, our really good products and our good Salesforce that we have here at American Marketing. And I think once you combine that and you realize that your rep is going to be behind you to help you get through problems, good or bad, problems with the factory or problems in the field, as long as they have a rep to help them, they feel more comfortable, and that I think is reassuring to a lot of the dealers that they have a good sales force behind them, and that could be priceless at times.
So something good that Brian did touch on is kind of that relationship and good sales force. And if you're in sales currently, you probably already know that creating a long-term relationship is pretty much better than going over a short-term relationship. But I think having that good connection, providing constant communication and other benefits that you can provide to your dealers is probably going to also help you sell your product with them. Let's say you are slightly higher than what they already have. I think that your goodwill and your good communication and maybe how they like you as the overall package may serve you a little bit better. So we did learn a lot in Virginia. We got to see both ends of the spectrum, and hopefully we'll be able to seal both of these guys. And I think we had great meetings and people really enjoyed us. So I hope all of you guys had enjoyed watching this, and I hope you guys got some good value out of it.